Hi friends, welcome to this quick discussion on polity questions of 2024. 18 questions, pretty straightforward, most of them, and in fact all of them. Just one question where there is a bit of a trap, but even that should be okay. So let's quickly discuss it. All the 18 questions with the answers and the Polity Simplified reference, which is the book written by me. So first question, straightforward. So different sets may have it in different numbers. So I'm just discussing the 18 questions one by one. Delimitation commissions, 4 delimitation commissions, 1952, 1963, 1973, 2002, right? First 3 were for number of seats, fourth one was only for redrawing the boundaries and for determining SC and ST seats. Straightforward, my Polity Simplified book, chapter 23, political system, it is clearly mentioned that it has been constituted only 4 times. Delimitation commission has been constituted only 4 times. So that makes the answer straightforward. Right? Constitution, 71st Amendment Act amends the 8th schedule to include which of the following languages? So guys, Maithili, Dogri, Santali, Bodo. These were 4 languages which were added in 2004 through the 92nd Amendment Act. So you remove Maithili, the answer is 1, 2, 3. All these 3 were added through the 71st Amendment Act. In fact, this question, very similar question, right, is part of the practice question of Polity Simplified. If you buy the book through the Edge platform, you will be able to look into it as well, and you will be able to practice these questions, right? Which of the following statements are correct about the Constitution of India? Straightforward, all 3 are correct. So usually UPSC does not ask article number based or part based questions, but this is a slightly unexpected question in that sense, but not very difficult things to remember, right? Part 9 panchayats, part 9A municipalities, part 18 emergency provisions. In the unitary features chapter it will be covered. In emergency provisions chapter it will be covered. Amendment of the constitution is a separate part under part 20 for article 368, right? So all 3 are correct and the answer is D, and this is covered both in the chapters as well as there is in the Edge content. There is one online document called Articles and Important Provisions at a Glance, where I would have listed down the article numbers and the part numbers with brief description, 7th schedule entries, 8th schedule list of languages. So that document will also help you answer this question. Which one of the following statements is correct as per the Constitution of India? Now, this is a slightly trick question, but a straightforward in that sense. Interstate, everything is in the union list. And corporation tax is a direct tax. Direct tax is also in the union list. So if you look at it, these 3 mention state list. The only one which mentions union list is option C. And I have given you the entry numbers also here where they are mentioned. Entry number 42 is interstate trade and commerce. The next, migration and quarantine, is entry number 81. And corporation tax is entry number 85. All 4 are part of the union list, but only one option has union list, which is the correct answer, right? Which is the technique of anti-similarity, right? 3 are interstate, 1 is corporation tax, but that is not the anti-similarity here. The anti-similarity is between 3 state list and only 1 union list, whereas all 4 are from the union list. So the correct answer is C. Under which of the following articles right to privacy? I mean, I was expecting right against climate change. In fact, in the current affairs related questions that I have been posting on my Twitter handle also, and many people would have been following it, right against climate change was a recent judgment, but they have still stuck to right to privacy. This might have been also because of the Digital Personal Data Protection Act that was passed in 2023. It's a straightforward answer, Article 21 under the Puttaswamy judgment, and that is highlighted in your Polity Simplified book, declared as part of Article 21 in Puttaswamy case, so that you will not forget it if you read and revise it, right? Which of the following statements about ethics committee in the Lok Sabha is correct? Again guys, I had predicted from my prediction list of 25, 3 questions have come. I'm so happy, and hopefully all of you have followed it and you're also happy. Scheduled tribes list, who does, ethics committee, and 106th constitutional amendment for women reservation bill. You know, in the last 30 days I had predicted questions from 25 areas. Out of these, 3 questions have come. And this ethics committee was in the news because of Expulsion of Mahua Moitra, who's the MP of TMC. She has again won in the recent Lok Sabha election. But guys, this is the advantage again of the Polity Simplified book, right? Which is also given to everyone in the Officers IAS Academy. The monthly updates are also part of the book, right? And it will be circulated for our aspirants as well. So even if something is not there in the printed book, but something is so important, like for example, other standard books will not have the Women's Reservation Bill. But my book has the Women's Reservation Act because it was printed in October. But sir, then what happens to something which happens in December, January, or something in the news in December, January and all? That will be covered in the monthly current affairs update. So the answer for this is, it was an ad hoc committee originally formed in the year 2000, then made permanent only in 2015. It will not take up a matter which is sub judice. So first and third statements are correct. Second statement is incorrect. Because anybody can complain, but the complaint has to be only through the member of Lok Sabha. So somebody outsider, in fact in Mahua Moitra case, an outsider had lodged a complaint through a member of Lok Sabha. Or a member of Lok Sabha himself or herself can also complain. So the second statement is incorrect. Guys, and this is the snapshot of the Polity Simplified book for your just for your reference. Look at this. This is the November 23 current affairs update, and I have discussed it was an ad hoc committee formed in 2000 originally. So first statement is correct, right? Because the question says it was originally an ad hoc committee. Initially it was an ad hoc committee, which is a correct statement. In 2000, it will not entertain complaints which are sub judice. So first and third statements are correct. Any person can complain, but only through an other Lok Sabha MP. So it's not only Lok Sabha MP who can complain, anybody can complain, but it should be through a Lok Sabha MP. So the second statement is incorrect. So if you read this monthly update, because it was in the news, which I also discussed in the form of a video, just like this, I'll just put the snapshot for your easy reference. Then you will realize that you will not forget it and you will be able to answer it correctly. This was the provisional president, Sachidananda Sinha was there just for 2 days, December 9th and 10th, and on 11th Rajendra Prasad was elected as the president of the or the chairperson of the Constituent Assembly. So the correct answer is D for this. Government of India Act 1935. It provided for establishment of All India Federation. Yes. Of the British provinces and the princely states. The princely states did not join the federation, but the act provided for both of them to be part of the federation. So the first statement is correct. And defense and foreign affairs definitely were part of the federal list, and by the federal legislature or the parliament only they could be enacted. And guys, this again in Polity Simplified, this is another unique feature. All important areas have been grey shaded, and you will find that there are 4 to 5 questions. See, these are there in all the books, but for your last minute revision, apart from the mnemonics and the flowcharts and the tables which are part of the book, these grey shaded areas, if you revise once every year, I feel that these are important. That is why, based on that analysis, I have grey shaded these areas. And you will find even in this year questions, around 4 to 5 questions have come from these grey shaded areas. Which means these grey shaded areas, if you revise the day before the exam once and go, you will not make a mistake at all. And look at it here. It provided for an All India Federation comprising provinces and princely states. First statement correct. And federal list consisted of external affairs, naval, military and air forces, which is nothing but defense. Defense and external affairs, foreign affairs were part of the federal legislature. So both the statements are correct in this question. Next question, Article 368, very straightforward list. Parliament may, in the exercise of its constituent power, may amend by way of addition, variation or repeal any of the provisions of the Constitution. So all the 3 are right. It is the first introductory paragraph in my book, Polity Simplified, on amendment to the Constitution. So you will never miss it. Then this is the slightly tricky question. I still feel there is no trick in it, but UPSC just interpreted the word necessary with question, and incidentally both are relating to money bill. Last year 2023 question also money bill, this also money bill. But First statement correct. Article 109 mentions the special procedure. Don't get confused with the definition which is given in 110. The procedure is given in 109. A money bill shall not be introduced in the Council of State, which means it can be introduced only in the Lok Sabha. First two statements are correct. Rajya Sabha can either approve the bill or suggest changes but cannot reject it. See, but cannot reject it is correct. But can it approve a money bill? No. Guys, there is no question of approval or passage of a money bill in the Rajya Sabha. The constitution only says that the Rajya Sabha can give its recommendations, suggest changes within 14 days. That's all. So, when we had the debate, even in our academy, so what if UPSC interprets approval as acceptance? It doesn't give any recommendations and just accepts it within 14 days with no recommendations, then can it be treated as an approval? But I think the word approval is different, acceptance is different. Approval means the bill is put to vote and passed in the Rajya Sabha. That does not happen for a money bill in the Rajya Sabha. So the third statement, in my opinion, is incorrect. And fourth statement is obviously incorrect, right? Amendments which are recommended by the Rajya Sabha may or may not be accepted by the Lok Sabha. It is not compulsory. Have to be accepted by Lok Sabha is again incorrect. So the answer, in my view, strong view, in our academy's view, is again 1 and 2. UPSC, if it interprets approval for acceptance and wants to give 1, 2, 3 as the answer, we'll have to wait for one more year. But more or less, I think 1 and 2 should be the answer, right? And this is again a grey shaded area. Money bills. Look at this. Article 109 provides the special procedure. First statement, money bill shall not be introduced in the Council of State. Second statement, it has only 14 days to give its recommendations. And after that, House of People may either accept or reject all of the recommendations. So that automatically makes fourth statement incorrect. And it only says recommendations can be given. There is no concept of approval. So in my view, third statement is also incorrect, right? So that is again a grey shaded area. So this will be there in all textbooks. But in my book, it will be in a grey shaded area, which will be useful for your last minute revision after understanding it. Nothing is missed out, but it is also facilitated. Revision is also facilitated in this process. Northeastern Council comprises of who of the following? Again, this is a slightly trick question. See, not everybody will remember, even if they read in a textbook, that 2002 an amendment was made. Not just the chief minister, but even the governors of the constituent states and 3 members nominated by the president will be part of the Northeastern Council. This amendment happened in 2002. But many people, even after reading it in the books, may not be able to remember it. But the trick here is the fourth statement. Everybody knows that Home Minister, or everybody who prepares, even for example, even in my book, Polity Simplified, it mentions in 19.6.2.2, I am giving the chapter reference for each of the areas so that you can go and look at it once you are back. It says, the Home Minister is nominated as the chairman of all zonal councils. So, Home Minister is not a member of the zonal councils, which includes the Northeastern Council. The Home Minister is the ex officio chairman of all zonal councils, right? So, the moment you remove the Home Minister, you have the answer. Understand? So, that is the trap in this. But once you read in the book that Home Minister is only nominated as a chairperson of all zonal councils, you will think, okay, he is not a member then. Then once you remove it, the answer is 1, 2 and 3. 106th Constitutional Amendment, as I told you, this is something which is there in the book, Polity Simplified, which you will not find in any other book because mine got printed the latest in October. But guys, it's not about that. Anything that happens, even after that, in November, Ethics Committee was in the news. In December, Election Commissioners Appointment Act was passed. In March, Citizenship Amendment Rules were notified. Amendment Act rules were notified. Those are also covered in the current affairs update in the Edge platform. So please keep that in mind. Anyways, so this, it has not come into effect in the 18th Lok Sabha. The 18th Lok Sabha is already constituted. It is for 15 years. Second statement is correct. And scheduled caste and scheduled tribe women will also have 1/3 reservation for the seats reserved for scheduled caste and scheduled tribe, right? And so, answer is 2 and 3 C. And the reservation of seats in the Lok Sabha, this is how it reflects in my Polity Simplified book. And guys, it is not just about the static content which is important for the prelims. But what is the critical analysis of the Women's Reservation Amendment? It follows, it flows, and just for a snapshot, I put it here. Even the analysis is there as part of Polity Simplified, right? A writ of prohibition, straightforward. It is issued to a lower court for discontinuation, prohibiting the continuation of proceedings in the case. Again, this is a snapshot. I would have just mentioned each kind of writ, and in a single or two bullet points, I would have brought out the key points so that it is easy for you to read, revise, and remember. So, prohibition is issued against a lower court or tribunal to prevent it from passing a wrongful order. So, that is exactly what is given as statement C. It is issued to a lower court prohibiting continuation of a proceeding, right? So, this is the simple way in which you can understand and recollect, right? 14, again, scheduled tribe. It was covered as part of my prediction. It is there in the monthly current affairs in Edge platform. It is part of the grey shaded area in the book Polity Simplified. Who notifies? Governor. The governor has made SC order, ST order, and any change to that can be done only by the parliament. Why did this question come, guys? Because in February 2024, there were 9 tribes which were added to the scheduled tribe status, including some of the PVTGs. And that is the trigger for this question. I have predicted it even on my Twitter handle, right? So, the first statement is incorrect, and of course, it is prepared state and union territory wise. So, some community which is declared as a scheduled tribe in one state, in the neighboring state it may not be declared, and the people living or domiciled in that state will not get that benefit, right? So, that is the state or union territory wise list of scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. So, the second statement is correct, right? So, the answer for this is B. With reference to the union budget, again, and guys, this is again a grey shaded area in the book, right? President publishes, and it is published state or union territory wise, which means different states. One state it may be there, in another state it may not be part of scheduled tribe or scheduled caste. So that is the answer for this question. With reference to the union budget, union finance minister on behalf of the president causes the annual financial statement to be laid. So first statement is incorrect, and no demand for grant can be made without the recommendation of the president. Straightforward, and it is covered in the parliament chapter. With reference to the speaker, again, straightforward question. When it is a resolution for the removal of the speaker, she shall not preside. Correct? She shall not have the right to speak. Everybody will have the right to speak. You will not be damned without giving an opportunity of being heard. So the speaker can defend his case in the Lok Sabha. And this is the only instance when the speaker will vote in the first instance as a member, because they will not be presiding over it, but they are a member of the Lok Sabha. So resolution for their removal is the only instance when they may vote or they can vote in the first instance as a member. So the third statement is also incorrect. And again, guys, grey shaded area in my book Polity Simplified in chapter 10. Speaker or deputy speaker shall not preside. They can be present as a member and will have the right to speak. They can vote in the first instance as a member. This is in a grey shaded box. So yesterday if you had revised it once, today you will not miss this answer, right? So that is the speaker related question. Lapse of bills, again straightforward. A bill pending in the Lok Sabha or passed in the Lok Sabha and pending in the Rajya Sabha. Porbandar does not lapse. All other lapses, right? So only because of prorogation or originating in the Rajya Sabha or passed by both the houses, which is pending with the president. That's a mnemonic that I would have given in the book, right? But the first two lapse as per Article 107. But 108, joint sitting is an exception. If already a joint sitting is notified, that bill will not lapse. Even with the new Lok Sabha, the president may call, not compulsory, but may call, but the bill does not lapse if already the joint sitting is notified. If before notifying the joint sitting, Lok Sabha is dissolved, the bill anyways lapses. So this is given in Article 107. Again, a grey shaded area, right? A bill pending in the House of People lapses. A bill having passed by the House of People and pending in the Council of State lapses. subject to the provisions of Article 108. So, if joint sitting has already been notified, it does not lapse. So, this is the summary, which is again provided in a grey shaded area and also a mind map in the book. And then finally, with reference to the Parliament of India, prorogation, summoning of the House, everything happens only as per the advice of the Council of Ministers. So, first statement is incorrect. So, automatically you can eliminate A and B. Second statement is correct. Usually, it happens only on the adjournment sine die. In fact, in my book, I would have used the word usually. Here the word used is generally. Generally, on the last day after adjournment sine die, the houses are prorogued. But even before that, it can be prorogued. During COVID, even before that, it was prorogued. The special session for passing the Women's Reservation Bill, it was prorogued before it was adjourned sine die 1 day in advance. Right? So that is possible. And dissolution only under exceptional circumstances, when the Council of Ministers have lost their majority. Then the President decides using his discretionary power whether to dissolve or not. Even that is discussed with the example of Atal Bihari Vajpayee government of 1999 in the book in section 10.3.5. So only under those exceptional circumstances the President may use his discretion. Otherwise, dissolution is also done based on the advice of the Council of Ministers. So the answer for this is 2 and 3 C. So I hope you found this useful. All the best.